Well, ladies and not ladies, I finally made it. I'm finally grinding high-end areas and making insane silver per hour. The best I've ever made. It is potentially, probably, most likely, the best money spot in the game. Darkseekers. A spot that requires a minimum of 1000 AP to grind, and it caps out at 1150, which is coincidentally more or less what I have. Other than my DP being kinda garbage, and as a result nighttime grinding being a little bit more dangerous than it should be, I am good to go. And for consumables, standard rotation with the demi-human harmony draft. So let's find out what amazing numbers this spot was able to print. But before that, I would like to address two mistakes I made recently, because I feel like you should know I'm not a perfect human being. I do make mistakes every now and then, and it's at the very least reasonable to acknowledge them, right? So first, during the Honglim base video, I showed this and said in a week season players should be able to get this kind of gear if they play actively. I guess I was wrong. Turns out I used to think Karazads, the base versions, are 2 to 3 billion to make. Maybe on release with essences being much cheaper, that was true at one point in time, but nowadays a Karazad is 5 to 6 billion to make, which means that is not 1 week of gameplay. That gear is much harder to get than I originally assumed. And two, I completely forgot lately to normalize the drop rate when I show Garmoth results, Garmoth global data. By default, I usually keep it at 300% rare item drop rate, and I forget to change it because my actual sessions, when I compare to my hours and my Excel, usually it's not 300% average drop rate. That's about it. It's the little things. So, Darkseekers. To briefly go over the spot so you don't get bored before I show you numbers, mechanically it's kind of simple. You do 2 packs. If you have a lot of gear, you might need a third one, but generally you just bounce between 2 packs, and maybe every now and then you will see this red circle on the ground. Those are the big events, or the long ones. Those last for about 3 minutes, during which you get waves and waves of squishy monsters, and those will inflate your trash per hour. Other than that, there is this boss that can appear every once in a while. Pretty forgettable. Agris doesn't work on him anyway, and that's the entire spot. Your entire hour pretty much boils down to, if you see this green, it's kinda boring. If you see this other green, then it is a little bit exciting. If you see this orange, brown Kabua, then oh, nice money. And then if you see yellow, the nice yellow, then I suppose this is a really nice day for you. So it's time to stare at some numbers. Garmoth global data, the average dude clearing speed. It's about 30,000 trash per hour. Seems like that's what most of you pull, most classes. And it is accurate this time around. If you convert this back to only yellow, in this case, Garmoth didn't mess it up, because Agris works on everything. There are no elites to mess the numbers, the conversion. You can do just yellow and it's still insane money, 2 billion per hour obviously, but Agris here is really efficient. You will see later in the Agris section. So if you have Agris, use Agris. 2.6 billion silver per hour. By the way, I fixed it, see? To 80% drop rate this time. The nice greens should be about 1 every 11 hours, it seems like. I got more lucky than that myself. The bad greens, the boring ones, you can combine these 4 into a bigger one, so it's fine, but yeah, 3 per hour. I actually didn't know that most of you on average get half a big event per hour, or 1 every other hour. For me it was a minimum of 1, between 1 and 3. If I look at my own data, you should know this hour is only yellow because I wanted to see how it looks like trash per hour wise. If I don't use Agris, everything else is yellow plus Agris. 3.3 billion silver per hour average. I got pretty RNG carried this time around. That's why I said it's the most money I ever made so far. I got 1 raw flame drop and 1 Kabua drop in my very first hour here. I wish my trash per hour was higher on average. Nowadays I can do 28 to 29,000 trash, something like this, but it keeps giving me only 1 event per hour, and I still get with 1 event 29,000 trash on Dosa. It's just on the first half of my hours I got better luck, but I was pulling less trash. 32.8 is the highest I got with 3 events. Let's go to Excel, where I can make the numbers look a little bit more relatable for you, cause Caboas you probably will get nothing in 10 hours, Flames definitely nothing in 10 hours, and big Origins of Dark Hunger, I don't know, maybe 1, right? Maybe that is fair. In which case, with Yellow plus Agris, proper speed, 32-ish thousand trash per hour is what I predict most people who come here with really good gear should get, at the very least 32, because Lua is a thing, and apparently with crazy gear and the Dark Knight, you can get 40,000 plus trash per hour, so those people exist. But at the very least, in the land of the mortals, 32 should be a good target to aim for. And in my case, I averaged 28.4, which means I made 2 billion per hour average without the crazy rare drops. To show you more numbers, we can put here 31,000 trash per hour and then 30,000, that's not 30, that is 30,000 trash per hour and 29,000 trash per hour, just so, you know, different clearing speeds. And then we put back, like that, my rare item drops, 3.7 billion, let's say 30,000, that's again not 30,000, because zeros are hard to press. There, and 31,000 trash per hour, just different permutations. That is not 31 duo, that is 31. To me, this easily seems the most broken money per hour spot in the game, and it's definitely the most I ever made, but it would be funny if someone goes in the comment section and is like, nah, back in my days, back when debos were a thing and they were expensive, I used to enhance debos for profit, not sell them at base, and I would make 3-4 billion per hour average. Those were the good money days. Yeah, sure, okay, fine, but for me this is amazing. Agris Efficiency. Remember when I said it's insanely good? The TLDR for you, about 20,000, let's say between 19 and 22 depending on speed, roughly 21,000 points per hour, and the efficiency number, the only one you care about, 3 billion. Not per hour. The explanation here is this is money made per all of your Agris burned, 100,000. That's how we can keep a consistency between different areas. So in this case 3 bill, and despite here saying using my best hour 33,000 trash, speed doesn't matter for the efficiency number. Compared to the other spots I got to test so far, obviously not everything, but this is currently the most Agris efficient spot I went to. It beats Cadres and it beats Crescents. Highlands used to be back, I don't know, half a year ago, the golden spot, just the one to aim for, but seems like it just keeps getting better and better. Do you happen to have Agris coins? Because I certainly have a lot of them. Agris coin ranking, efficiency, tier list. Where is it? Because I'm dragging, because I don't see it, right? Darkseekers, 5th one so far, doesn't matter, it could be higher or lower, because for the Agris coin, unlike the normal Agris points, here speed matters. So I believe I used the best hour, 33,000 trash, but if you grind at 40,000 trash per hour like Lua, then this will be by far your best option. Experience and skill points. This is the first disappointing part of this video. Not everything is amazing and exciting, although if you look at it, this here, Darkseekers, it doesn't suck at the moment. It is somewhere around Elvia level experience. Orcs is here, Gryphons obviously at the top, and which one? Biragi I wanted to reference. It's kind of more or less the same experience as Biragi. Why is this a disappointment? I guess first, quickly, it should be somewhere down here. The Darkseekers, there you go. Skill points suck, so we can get those out of the way, doesn't matter. So why is this a disappointment? Because Darkseekers used to be not 1.6, it was 1.9 before they reworked it. I was excited to claim that this is the best experience in the game now, because after the changes it feels like you're killing more monsters, not less. This is the old test. Again, numbers don't matter for you, just remember 1.9 is where it used to be, at 18,000 trash per hour with the old metric. Back when getting 22,000 trash per hour here was good. So if you scale this one up to 22,000 trash to represent it in a nice fair manner, not just me doing this barely on Tamer, then it would be maybe 2.1, 2.2. Essentially it would match almost Gyfin's. But reality is never what I want it to be. It used to be 2.1 thousand mobs per hour before scaling them, and now this is the new test after the changes and after scaling it to be 32,000 trash per hour like that. It's again 2.1 thousand mobs per hour. So you're not killing more monsters than before, but you are getting less experience than before the spot got reworked, which is sad. Loot scroll efficiency and maids. The maid story nowadays is so boring that I'm very tempted to just stop mentioning it altogether, because as long as every trash keeps being 0.3 weight, then it will always be 1 maid per 1000 trash. 32,000 trash per hour, 32 maids required to grind without a horse. Wow, so impressive. Blue loot scroll here is very efficient. I didn't mention this earlier in the money per hour section. If you look at the amount of trash every monster drops and then you average it, it's not 3.5, it's 3.48. It's as close to perfect as possible. That's why Garmoth could not have converted this wrong. Should you use blue or yellow loot scroll? In this case, blue seems to be the better option. With my RNG, it's really bad efficiency, 27, because I got a bunch of rare item drops. So if I go back here and we say 0 Kabwas, 0 flames, and only 1 big boy hunger, and we go back, now it's 51, best case scenario. 51 is again not impressive. Usually I want to see here 65, 70% before I say, oh, this is really, really good. So you shouldn't feel bad about running yellow loot scroll. But as always, it's up to you. Those are the numbers. You can make your own judgment. That's about it for Darkseekers. I wonder if any other spot will top this one in terms of, I guess, at least excitement. I made so much silver on my RNG, and it's funny, I only did 1 hour on Tamer to test experience, and I was already ready to just be disappointed because I grind faster on Dosa. Half because I suck at being a succession Tamer, and half because Dosa is just a better grinder. But nope, guess who dropped the flame? It was Tamer. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you did, dislike it if you didn't, I suppose. Engagement helps, makes me feel better. What else? See you with the next spot, right? I just have no more thoughts to share. I feel like it's only downhill from here. Nothing will beat Darkseekers in money per hour. It's already the best Agris spot in the game. Experience is good enough where I wouldn't mind popping scrolls here, so like, what else is even more exciting than this to look forward to? I don't know. The new class, I suppose. Bye bye!